What if you're going to go on a trip and you got an itinerary from two different people and they said two completely different things? Wouldn't that be confusing? Wouldn't that be contradictory? Well, today we want to go through a contradiction that seems to be in the Bible that, well, in three places, it tells you to do three different things for the same people going on the same trip.
If Jesus is the ultimate guide, why would the instructions differ?
My name's Craig and this is Morningstar Quest, where we are delving into the Bible one question at a time. And I love this because I feel like we're, enjoying going through these contradictions. 439 contradictions in the Bible that seem to be, fighting with your faith, my faith. And I'm thinking, surely are these contradictions? And I want to find out. We've got 439 of these, but we are going through one at a time, and I can't believe we're up to number 49 here. That's nearly a year, 2 weeks. 2 weeks in a year. I don't know what we'll do, but maybe we'll do something. Did Jesus tell his apostles to go barefoot and without a staff? Or not? And so, we have here Matthew 10:10, Luke 9:3, and Mark 6:8-9. So we've got three different versions, and are they even the same? Okay, so.
All right, let's dive in. With three different versions of the instructions, it definitely raises some eyebrows.
All right, so we've got Matthew 10:9-10. Do not get any gold or silver or copper to take with you in your belts. No bag for the journey, or extra shirt, or sandals, or a staff, for the worker is worth his keep. For the worker is worth his keep. Okay, well that's fairly straightforward, isn't it?
Yeah, it sounds pretty clear from Matthew. No extra stuff, just the basics, and trust that you'll be provided for. Let's see how that lines up with the other two.
All right, Mark 6:8-9. These were his instructions. Take nothing for the journey except a staff, no bread, no bag, no money in your belts, wear sandals, but not an extra shirt. Do those two line up?
Interesting, right? Mark's account allows a staff and sandals, which is a bit different from Matthew's. That's where the seeming contradiction pops up. Let's check Luke's version next.
All right, so let's go to Luke. So Luke 9:3, he told them, take nothing for the journey, no staff, no bag, no bread, no money, no extra shirt. So what's happening here? Why is it all different?
That's the big question. Each gospel seems to highlight a slightly different detail. It could be that the instructions varied based on the specific mission, or that each writer remembered the details differently. It's definitely something that makes you dig deeper into the context and purpose behind each account.
And I guess on the surface, they don't feel like they're matching, do they?
Exactly. At first glance, they seem contradictory. But looking deeper, there might be a bigger picture or different emphasis in each gospel.
And I think that one of the problems, and this comes up all the time, unfortunately, is that it was originally written in Greek and we translate it into English. And I don't know if English translates Greek very accurately.
Translation nuances can definitely add to the confusion. Some Greek words or idioms might not have a perfect English equivalent, which can lead to these apparent discrepancies. It really shows the importance of understanding the original context and language.
And here the thing is, Matthew 10:9, like I've got here, is the literal Greek and then translated. So it's translating very clunky, but it is just taking the literal translation. And I find it very interesting that Matthew says, do not acquire gold or nor silver nor gold or copper in your belts. And it's more like, take what you have, but don't acquire anything more.
That subtle difference in wording can really change the meaning. It's less about having nothing and more about not accumulating extra provisions. It makes sense in the context of relying on faith and the hospitality of others. These nuances highlight how careful reading and context can clear up confusion.
And I think, and I shouldn't say think, because I know that scholars have also said that when it comes down to Matthew, Mark, and Luke, they are for different audiences. Matthew highlights faith and immediate trust for the Jewish audience. Then we have Mark. This is more directed at the Romans, and they have a more, practical mind. So everything is more focused with keep essentials like a staff and sandals. Luke speaks to Greeks' ideals, emphasizing complete simplicity and radical trust. So there's a lot going on here just for each different specific audience.
Exactly. Each gospel writer tailored their message to their audience's needs and perspectives. So, what might look like a contradiction at first is actually a nuanced way of addressing different cultural and practical concerns. It's fascinating how the same core message can be framed in different ways to resonate with different people.
And also, I think in the oral culture at the time, I mean, we don't have this oral culture anymore because we trust print, and we put if we want to remember something, we put it in writing. Whereas back then they could not. It was too expensive. It just wasn't available. So people really heavily relied on oral traditions. So telling a story, they would have to memorize it. They would have to go through a whole heap of other, ways of learning it and everything. And if they spoke about it in front of, say, 100 people, there would be at least 10 or 20 that would know that story and memorized it themselves, and they'd go, hey, hang on, you've got to make sure this is correct. The core message is trust God and go out. It really doesn't matter whether you have a staff or not, or if you have money for your journey or whatever. It's trust God.
Exactly. The heart of the message is about faith and reliance on God, not the specific gear or provisions. The variations in the accounts highlight different aspects, but the core takeaway remains the same: trust in God's provision. It's a powerful reminder that the essential message shines through the details.
And I think, what have I got here? When God sends us out, He doesn't expect us to be fully stocked and ready for every challenge. It really doesn't. But He does expect us to trust Him and just to travel light, because if we travel with all of our provisions and we bring a donkey and pack the donkey and put more stuff on it, are we trusting God?
We don't have to have everything figured out before we start the journey.
And I love this journey because we are delving into 439 contradictions, and it seems scary because I'm a Christian, I want to know more, and should I really be investigating this? But I'm finding way more good stuff, and I'm finding it deeper. I'm finding out more about God. I'm finding more about Jesus. I'm finding more about the Bible. I'm finding more about me and where I fit into everything. And yeah, basically this is busted on so many different levels. I love this journey. So please click on that video. We're going to go through so many more. I'm number 48. In 2 weeks will be 1 year. This is 8.5 year journey. Go do something awesome for God, and I'll catch you in the next one.